with Pastor Jay on WNZF News Radio, and I'm excited to get in it. Hit it, Mark. I feel like on Star Trek,
Yes.
each captain has their own thing,
Yes.
you know, and they have whatever it is when it's time for them to take off. So they each captain have a different. I'm a Trekkie. Did you know that? Each captain has a different one. So maybe each week I'll come up with something like hit it or step on it or let's go or something along those lines. But in the meanwhile, hit it.
You are now tuned in to Today with Pastor Jay on WNZF News Radio, where we discuss inspiring and informative news. And now here's your host, Pastor Geraldine Denny.
Good morning, rise and shine. It is a brand new day, and you're tuned in Today with Pastor Jay. I'm your host, Pastor Geraldine Denny, bringing you hope, faith, and real conversations to start your Sunday off right. So this morning, I'm joined by a woman who is truly making a difference in the lives of families and seniors right here in our community, and that would be Miss Kathleen Rivera from Right at Home Palm Coast. Right at Home provides in-home care and assistance that allows seniors and adults with disabilities to live independently and safely in the comfort of their own homes. So we'll talk about compassion, community, and calling. So make sure you stay tuned. Don't touch that dial. Don't go anywhere. So I want to thank you so very much, Kathleen, who is now a Rotarian, yes?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, very happy to say that. Yep.
Yes, part of my Rotary Club, which is fantastic. So I was sitting there, I've been on the radio now. Mark Hasselhoff has been, 13 years, 12 years? It's been a lot of years. That's a lot of guests I've gone through. So at my Rotary meeting the other day, I went, hey, anybody, she was presenting. I went, hey, anybody want to be on my radio show? So it's always good to get fresh and good content. But I got to ask you, what inspired you to get involved in senior care and home health services? You transplanted here from the Bronx.
Yes.
Um,
So again, it for me is I came here from my mom. Obviously, she lived in Palm Coast. But how I got into senior care is I grew up actually in nursing home sector. And that's always been my passion to help seniors. It's just in my blood. And, I can't see myself doing anything else. That's going to be my.
So you went from taking care of your mom to saying, this is something that's needed. Let me get involved. So for those who aren't familiar, what does Right at Home provide that's unique to this community?
Sure. So we provide personal care to seniors to live independently at home, obviously bathing, showering, dressing, all those kind of things. But we also provide companionship. We can be there for them to either take them to coffee or have them go grocery shopping, things of that nature, just to have somebody have eyes on them. Because a lot of our people here that live in Flagler County, and I was one of them, that lived far. My mother lived here, and it was a hard thing for my mother living alone and be able to navigate everything there was in Flagler County. So I'm glad I'm here because I make sure I can help everyone in Flagler and any seniors that are in need.
So how do you see faith and compassion intersecting in the kind of work you and your caregivers do every day?
Well, for us, we have our caregivers are actually our own employees.
I love that.
Yes, big. It's a big thing. I tell people all the time, I know all my caregivers. They're all insured, bonded, and vetted. And I tell them, if you are going to be in these people's homes, you got to be like as if you are their person, that you are like almost like their family. And that's what makes a difference, that they can connect with our caregivers. I actually meet with all of our people individually, and I make sure I get the right caregiver that's going to be the right fit for them so that they really feel good about being with that person and feel safe and not have to worry. And then their family members that live north of us, they are, they're feeling good about it too. They're comfortable with it. So it's challenging when you live far and you have a loved one here that's having ailments and stuff of that nature. So we need somebody who's going to be able to take care of them.
Speaking of challenges, what are some of the biggest challenges that families face when deciding that it's time for in-home care? Because families have to decide this. Those that's receiving the care, I've seen a lot of people in denial. So what are some of the biggest challenges that you see?
Well, for me, what I see is a lot of these people have signs of dementia,
Ooh.
and they're still driving and things of that
Oh
nature.
my,
And
really?
yes, I just met with a
Get
couple.
off the road.
Yes, I met a couple the other day, and the husband told me that he had gotten lost and that his memory is subsiding, but they are living alone. And
Oh my goodness.
yep, and their family lives far. And so what I try to do is I get everybody involved. Obviously, I'm going to speak to the family, say, don't wait for a crisis to happen. Again, we're here to help. Not everybody, home care can be expensive, right? But I give other resources. Whatever I can do to make that person safe and feel good about where they're at,
Mhm.
that's what I'm going to do. That's why I make it my business to really get involved and know my people and things of that nature. I'll never leave anybody hanging. Whatever I can do. If it means that they might need to go somewhere else, like an assisted living,
Mhm.
I'm going to lead the right path for them for that too. So it's just so important. Again, we don't, unfortunately, as we get older, we don't want to think that we need help. And most people do wait for a crisis. And I try to tell people, don't do that. Know who your people are. Even at health fairs, they pass
Mhm.
by my table and they say,
Yeah,
"Oh,
you
I don't need
mentioned that
that."
the other day. Oh, I don't need that.
Yes, and
But you may need that. You
well,
will need that. I mean,
yeah, I stop them in their tracks and I say,
mhm.
"Look, maybe it won't happen for you, but there might be somebody that you know or a neighbor, and wouldn't you want to share this information with them so this way they're prepared? It doesn't mean it's going to happen
Because
tomorrow."
everyone have these neighbors and they can see that they're
Correct.
doing a lot of things that independently of their own. Every Thanksgiving, I go door to door to provide home cooked meals
Mm-hmm.
to the elderly, the sick, and the shut in. And there are a lot of people that are living by themselves,
Mm-hmm.
alone, who have family, but unfortunately, as they age,
Mm-hmm.
their family. I don't want to use the word desert them, but they're not visiting them as often. And those big Thanksgiving meals and all the stuff that they used to have with family all the time are gone. Now, I don't
Right.
know what it is about the Western civilization when it comes
Right.
to our elderly, where other cultures, they honor those that
Correct.
are growing old. They're supporting them and they take care of them. We're living in a society today where people are so, I don't want to use the word selfish, but I don't know that I have another word to use for it. I know you experience this
I
all the
have.
time. So you know exactly what I'm talking about. So
Mm-hmm.
tell me about those experiences and how
Right.
challenging that is for you.
Well, again, I was one of those people. I was up north and my mother was relying on the people like the lawn guy, the pool person
Mm.
to help with her at home. And a lot of times we do think that the people far away are not paying attention, like the sons and daughters. But actually, believe it or not, when I would call my mother and I would speak to her every day, she'd say, "Everything's fine, everything's good." And you really believe that until
Mm-hmm.
you come down to visit. And then you see that there's things going on. And you're like, "Why didn't you tell me this?" And they don't want to have their daughters or their sons worried about them.
Oh, I see that a lot. My
Mm-hmm.
grandmother is up there in age, and when you speak with her, I'm
Yep.
fine, everything's okay, and she lives with my aunt, her
Mm-hmm.
daughter, but she still doesn't want to communicate with her the needs that she has, her concerns, because she don't want to burden anyone. And I'm sure that's
Correct.
something else that you see. And I've done nursing home ministry
Mm-hmm.
previously, quite a bit in the past. And when you speak with those that are in the nursing homes, they don't even want to tell the staff what their issues are, what their
Correct.
concerns are. So oftentimes those things are going unmet and their voice isn't being heard, and of
Mm-hmm.
course they're afraid of being retaliated against because
Correct.
they have to live there. And if they say that they don't like something or someone is treating them poorly, that they may be retaliated against. This is a
Correct.
real issue.
It
So how
is.
does Right at Home address those issues and fix those issues with the care that you're giving here in Palm Coast?
Right. So there again, I will make sure that I get the family involved, plus having the actual client, and we try to mingle people together. We have a portal that even the family can actually go on and see our caregivers when they're coming in. They can write notes in our portal. How's dad doing today? Did he eat all his meals? My caregiver can say, absolutely, this is what he ate. They have tasks that they have to follow. So they're always in communication. And that's a big plus, especially that we do live far. I mean, I'm one of the rare cases that, I left my job to come move in with my mom here, but not everybody can do that.
That's true.
Not
That's
everybody can do that. So, sometimes people, I'm sure my mother's neighbors were actually talking about me. Why isn't her daughter down here doing certain things? Again, life happens, right? We have children, we're in a busy work environment. We can't always leave that behind and move in with our parents. And unfortunately, a lot of seniors that live here, a lot of their children live up north where it's cold. And the couple that I was with this
mm,
weekend, they turned around to me and said, Kathleen, we can't move back up there. It's just too much they're right. We tend to forget as we age that it's very hard for them to go back into that cold environment. Then
mm-hmm.
they're more isolated
Oh
because
yeah, my mother's not moving back up
no.
north.
And
Mm-mm.
that was my
Yeah,
mom. She was like, I'm not
arthritis
doing it.
couldn't handle it. I mean, she
Correct.
couldn't. Yeah, no,
Correct.
that wouldn't even happen. Mm-mm.
So,
Mm-mm.
some people can't make those life choices to be here. So that's when Right at Home could really be that key person, our caregivers, to help with those families so that they don't have to redo their life to come down here and take care of those people. We can do it for them. And, even though home care is expensive, we have a lot of veterans here. Veterans can get home care approved hours. We're associated with that. We have a new program through Medicare now. If you have a diagnosis of dementia, you can get approved home care hours. There's all sorts of ways that you can get help
And
with
people
us.
just need to reach out and figure it out.
Correct.
Okay, guys, this segment is brought to you by our amazing sponsors, Great Eagle Strategies, equipping leaders with excellence and strategy for success. Gerald Ministries, where faith meets action. Church on the Rock, your family home church, and Judah One Aviation, taking missionaries and ministry teams to the nations. Don't go anywhere, guys. Don't touch that dial. You're listening to Today with Pastor Jay. All right, ready, Mark? We're back on Today with Pastor Jay. Let's continue our conversation with our wonderful, highly esteemed guest, my Rotarian sister, who I'm so excited, who's offering wonderful services to the community. So how do you support your caregiving team? Because I can imagine dealing with all these different families and
Mhm.
dealing with those that they care for have just different levels of care that's needed. How do you support them emotionally, spiritually, and professionally?
Sure. I mean, we have all different ways of helping our caregivers manage when they have really tough cases. We obviously make sure that they're only working a certain amount of hours too,
Oh,
so they
that's
don't get
good.
burnt out. We do offer incentives to them as well. We always take care of our caregivers. If people give them good Google reviews and mention their name in it, they also get perks with that as
Ooh,
well.
I like
So
perks.
yes, so my caregivers love that when they can be having their name being presented outside on Google. They love that kind of attention, and we always try to, whatever cases we do have ways of um, giving them a way to get more incentives
Mm-hmm.
for whatever cases they're with. That's the nice thing about Right at Home, being that they're our own employees. We don't have a set amount of. We have like a sliding scale. So when people actually join up with Right at Home, we can do different salary points with them hourly, and it really helps. Some people work part-time and have other jobs, and other people do it full-time. We have retired nurses. We have people, as myself in New York, I did it on the side as well because I love that one-on-one attention.
Mm.
So it works for everyone. And, again, we just really want to present to our caregivers, make sure they have a safe environment as well. That's why I go into their homes to see what's actually going on. I don't want them just going into a situation that might be a hoarding situation.
Oh yeah.
I got to be careful,
You gotta, and plus, you probably run across people taking advantage of the elderly. You know,
Absolutely.
so the grass cutter, we appreciate you attending to the lawn, but the next thing you know, checks are
Correct.
being written for all kinds of other stuff. I'm sure family have dealt with fraud like that. What does it take to build trust with families that you serve?
Right. So again, when they speak to me, I actually can relate to them. So I always say that to them. I said, look, I've been in your shoes. I know what this is about. It's not easy. And I always tell them I'm a big resource for Flagler County. anything that they need, even if they don't sign up with me, I can help them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I think the connection is with me with families, that they know I'm like a real person,
Right.
that I do generally want to help. And I think that's why Right at Home hired me. They said, Kathleen, we know it's a business,
Mm-hmm.
but we like that you treat it like it's your own and that you do care about. And I do. Flagler County is my county. I live here. I don't expect to be going anywhere else. So I want to know what I can do for my people here.
What kind of other resources? You mentioned resources a
Hmm.
couple of times before the break, and now that you're able to provide for the family outside of what Right at Home does.
Sure.
What do people ask about or
Right.
for?
So it's interesting. I get a lot of clients that will come in and like, oh, so can your caregivers just clean my whole house? And I'm like, no, that's not what we do. We're not housekeepers. We do like housekeeping. So again, I have actual people that I can trust to give to them that can be
Mm-hmm.
able to clean their house. Some people need plumbers. There's certain situations that they're in. Or again, they might need to be placed in assisted living. I have a senior advisor that I can trust that lives in Flagler County that I can set them up with, and
Mm-hmm.
she can do that job for them. So it's safe all around. It's not somebody that that I just picked out of a booklet and say, here, just call this person. I know these people. I make it my job to meet these people when I network, to get to know more about them, so I feel comfortable referring them.
Let's talk about the aging in place movement, where how important it is for seniors to remain in their
Hmm.
homes um, when possible.
Of course.
How important is that?
It's so important. I mean, again, people don't want to leave their homes, especially when you're 80 and 90 years old.
You've gotten used to that home. Who wants to go somewhere?
Nobody wants to. And, again, people don't want to know that they can't do the things that they did when they were in their 20s.
Ooh,
It's just unfortunate.
I'm not looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
I'm still in my 20s. I'm 29 in some months,
yes.
and I weigh 129 pounds and
Yes.
some ounces. In
Um,
Jesus' name.
Yes. So, my husband has Parkinson's.
Okay.
So I can relate to a lot of these people as well because, again, my husband, I'm a caretaker. And, again, he feels like he's still the same way when he was back home in New York. And I tell him, unfortunately, you're aging, plus you have Parkinson's. There's certain things you just can't do anymore.
Hmm.
And so, whatever we can do to help these people to make sure that they don't overdo it. I mean, I have people that will overdo things in their home like as if they were before, and I tell them, if you can't bend down and pick something up, don't do it.
Oh my goodness, I think I might need some of this care.
Don't do it, because I've seen so many people fall, fracture, and that's a serious situation.
Speaking of falling, I
Mm,
fell a couple of
mm,
weeks ago, and I tripped over something.
mm-hmm.
Walking into the kitchen, I have a bruise on this arm. I'm swollen here and here. I fell on both my knees. All this, right? So I'm talking to my youngest daughter, 7,
Oh my goodness.
because I was there last week. She had her art gallery showing. I need to post pictures about that. But anyway, um, she asked me. Guess.
I
She thought it was an aging accident.
mm.
Really? Really? Speaking of that,
Well, my children, who
What?
are old, much older than that, still say that I'm very old to them.
I
So,
just wanted to know if I explained to her how I felt. She's like, "Oh, okay." I was wondering if it was an aging accident.
yeah.
So speaking of that, how young are people that are using your services?
Yes. So again, we can have people that, unfortunately, people who have MS, things of
Mm,
that nature.
right.
If they're even in their 50s or 40s and they need a caregiver,
Or
we can
even those
provide that.
recovering from surgery, or
Correct.
maybe
Stroke
have
people.
managing a chronic illness.
Correct.
Yeah.
My mother had a stroke at 49.
Oh wow.
So again, you don't have to be older to have these ailments, and that we can take care
And
of them.
tripping on a rug, just for those who don't know, is not an elderly accident at my
Absolutely
age.
not.
Okay. Yes. For those that are listening who may feel overwhelmed caring for a loved one, and we know that happens, what first step would you recommend?
So for me, I would say maybe go to some of these support groups. We have quite a number of support groups out there here in Flagler County. I actually run a Parkinson's caregiver support group, which is coming this Friday. And it's so important to get with those types of people because they're going to be able to talk about the same story. And then that's where you're going to get your resources from and get to know, okay, I'm prepared for this. It's just so important that you don't be in the dark. Know about what is out there. Don't let other people tell you, oh, you're not going to need that. Unfortunately, we're all going to age
That's
and
true.
we need help.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. All right, guys. Today's episode of Today with Pastor Jay is brought to you by Great Eagle Strategies, Gerald Ministries, Church on the Rock, and Judah One Aviation. So we're gonna take another break. Don't go anywhere, guys. Don't touch the dial. You are listening to Today with Pastor Jay. All right, Mark. I had something and I don't see it. It must be here. So it's right here. Okay. All right. I'm ready. Okay, 3 minutes. Oh, real quick. Hey guys, it's Pastor Jay. Just want to remind you, if you missed an episode of Today with Pastor Jay, don't worry. Catch every show anytime, todaywithpastorjay.com. Click the podcast link and follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and X. And remember, if you miss any part of today's show or just want to listen again, you can find us online anytime. So just welcome back. I want to thank you so very much, Kathleen, for sharing that. But what does servant leadership look like in your daily work?
So I actually help again with the Parkinson's group here in Flagler County. It's at the community center. I help with those people. I also, I work with my church. I also tell the seniors there about different resources. Again, I joined to be a Rotarian.
That's right.
and
Service above self.
I'm looking forward to giving back to the community. It's always what I wanted to do. So, and again, it's because I live here. I want to be able to support whatever I can here, for sure.
Just briefly, tell us how people can contact you
Sure.
and find services.
Sure. So they definitely can reach out to me. My personal cell is 845-222 5208, or they can actually email me, Kathleen and it's RAHNEFL.com. I'm available.
And you have a website?
Yes. So it's right at home at palmcoast.net. So again, if anybody would love to reach out, I can always, give them some more information and what's so great about us.
So what's your prayer or vision for the seniors and caregivers in our community?
I want to be able to have everybody give that opportunity that they can stay home the longest, truthfully. It's so important. It's hard to leave your home.
Comfort and peace.
Correct.
And it helps with mental health as well, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
To be around the things that you love and, you're familiar
Yes.
with where
So
you
important.
live. Well, thank you so very much. So Kathleen Rivera reminded us today that compassion isn't just a service, it's a calling. Caring for others is one of the purest ways we reflect the love of Christ. So I leave you with this today. Boom, boom. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow isn't promised. What are you going to do today? Maybe today you make that call to check on someone, a neighbor, or one of your own loved ones. Or maybe you lend a helping hand or simply remind someone that they're not alone. God bless you. Have a wonderful day. Until next time, I'm Pastor Jay, and it's been Today with Pastor Jay on WNZF News Radio.